council member.
Hi, how are you?
Hello, everybody. I think we started live a little bit after. So I'm going to introduce myself again, Jessica Angel, artist at the Vancouver Biennale. And then I want to introduce you to Raul Romanuti from the Kusama network. He's a council member.
Hi, how are you? Nice to see you.
Thanks for being here with me, Raul. We are super excited to present to you Voxel Bridge, which is the art installation that I'm putting together for the Vancouver Biennale, which is also the artwork that inspired this conference. Briefly, I want to go over what we're doing. We're taking over the Cambie Street Bridge South. Initially, we wanted to create a conference under this bridge, a smaller conference, like a 1 day, 2 day conference to talk about the intersection between art and blockchain. But then given the 2020 year changed the lives of everybody, then we decided to do the conference virtual. So here we are. I'm going to share with you the project as a whole, and then let you know why Raul is here and why the Kusama network is involved and the fun stuff that we will be working on together. I'll share with you the proposal where you can actually go and find yourself as well. If you want to dig more on it and get a better sense of what this is about. So what we're doing is a sensorial journey through the Kusama network. The artwork, the installation will be installed on site, the Vancouver, the Cambie Street Bridge South. It's this long underpass, 600 feet long. So that's roughly 180 meters long. It has 11 columns. The average height is about 23, 22 feet high. So we're just going to be working with scissor lifts and, hard hats. And then we're going to be doing some tech stuff. So it is very complete. It has all these different layers. So this is the proposal that I presented to the Kusama network in collaboration with the society. And here is Raul, the person who was kind of leading me by the hand on how to create this proposal. So we have been talking a lot about NFTs, about how artists can sell art, the digital scarcity, and crypto art. But there is another area, another section of what this convergence between art and blockchain can bring. And it's the fact that there is funding for a lot of these art projects that are more large scale, that require different, different kinds of funding. So funding in the blockchain space for art is certainly another route that artists can take. So this is the south side of the Cambie Street Bridge. This is how the bridge looks right now. And briefly, I want to share a little bit of the stuff that we've been doing in regards to creating this proposal. We have a 3D model using rhinoceros, and then we were able to create an exact alignment between the design that is going to be printed with the physical bridge. This is done using a plugin for rhinoceros that is called Grasshopper. So this is really technical. Obviously, a team of architects is helping me with this. And the context of the proposal is obviously having Kusama be part of this event, and also having Kusama be the featured blockchain for the installation. So what we will be doing is creating a visualization, a journey, a visual journey through the Kusama network, the different main sort of parts of the network and also the community. So you can also see, the whole plan behind this artwork. There's so much work. I've been working on this for over a year and a half, and we have all the specific details. If you guys are interested in seeing the full proposal, I will post this link on the chat so you can check it out. And yeah, so this is the proposal, and I'm excited to share with you how the Kusama network plays a role in this event. So I'll hand it to you. And
Cool.
oh no, but give me one
Thank
second
you.
before I hand it to you. I want to share some tests that we're doing with the Spheroid Universe team, and we actually have Andre here. He's also working with us. He's part of our team. They're called Spheroid Universe. You can find them on our sponsors. If you go to artproject.io, you go to the community partners and you'll find their logo, and then you'll also find a link to their website. They're doing some extreme work, super professional group. So I introduce Andre here.
Okay.
Andre has been, working in the background with this to create the virtual reality experience of the Kusama network under this bridge. So we're literally connecting the physical world, the physical installation, with this virtual sensorial journey. So let me quickly find the very first tests that we did. Maybe, Andre, do you want to talk about these tests?
Yeah, sure. So the first tests that we've made were about using markers technology for perfectly synchronizing the virtual world with the real one, because the main task, the main challenge in location-based augmented reality is to perfectly align two worlds with each other, because that is when you get this immersive experience. And so first we've tested a lot of things like making markers huge, because usually the markers we use and the world users are tiny ones. So we found that this approach works, and then we started to make some additional tests. And could you please, play this video? So we've made some additional tests that were about be able to show and to track virtual world without seeing the marker all the time. And that is how it looks. So you see this virtual world perfectly synced with the real one, and we move around the bridge underneath, and so it looks great. This is anyway the first prototype, and the next steps we are going to make is to get more visual data that will help us to get this perfect synchronization when there will be people around that will be moving in front of the camera, and that will become important for us to get more visual data, more visual key points that we will gather. And that's in fact what we are in Spheroid Universe do. So we create software for people from all over the world to crowdsource gathering this visual data. So any device that uses augmented reality could use our cloud to get location-based AR perfectly synchronized with the world. Yeah, so
thank you. Yes, these tests are so exciting. I'm already seeing this, and oh my God, I can't wait to come and see all this stuff aligned with the other drawings. It's going to be so hard to really see what reality actually is,
Yeah.
Yes, that's the plan, to mind bend the whole thing. Also with Andrea and the Spheroid Universe, I'm sorry, the team, we've been talking, I'm learning a lot from you guys. We're talking about all these different possibilities for, let me close this, different possibilities for, I'm gonna play it again, how to add color, how to add texture. You were talking about occlusion, which is different techniques to allow for the AR object to remain when you have someone in front of it and not get disturbed. Something I'm seeing with these tests is that they're really solid. This is actually the most solid AR object I've seen from my experience with AR objects, because it's really hard to really have them stable, like what I'm seeing right now. So maybe you can tell us a little bit more about occlusion and shaders, which is something we'll be exploring.
Yeah, shaders are in fact tiny programs that are where we that creates animated textures and do not get a lot of resources from the mobile phone. So it's a technique to get any kind of visual and advanced visual effects for to be shown with the hardware that is not powerful enough, in fact, if to compare with the desktop computers. But shaders that helps us to show this advanced visual effect. And occlusion is a technique which is very simple for human to understand which object is behind and which is placed after any other object. But for computer vision, it is a tough to hide, for example, virtual object hide virtual objects when it is placed in the scene behind any object in the real world. And so this is also the technique we are going to implement in Voxel Bridge project for Vancouver Biennale, and we are really happy about it.
And you mentioned that that uses AI in a way?
Yeah, artificial intelligence, it's part of computer vision approach that we use here to get the best results in terms of occlusion, in terms of visual positioning, in terms of stability of
I see.
Of
very cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very impressed with the work that you guys do. Thank you so much for agreeing to take part in this project and going through the process of making all these tests. And I'm sure we can, show your capabilities at their maximum capacity. Thank you for joining us right now, Andre.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to hand it now to Raul, who's going to be telling us more about the Kusama network in general, the treasury, and we're actually using this case as an example for other artists to kind of go through the same process and apply for Kusama funds and the treasury and learn about the awesome project that Kusama is. So I'm going to hand it to you now, Raul.
Thank you, Jessica. I'm super excited about the project. And as Jessica mentioned, part of the installation will be focused on some of the Kusama on-chain events that she has chosen to portray with augmented reality on the bridge. But in order to understand a bit the partnership between Kusama and the Biennale and Jessica Angel, I need to give you a brief description of what Kusama is. Kusama is basically a blockchain in which other blockchains can connect. And so in that way, it's a network of specialized blockchain that are all built in Substrate. And because we're built in Substrate, which is a developing framework designed by Parity Technologies, it includes a treasury module. And so this treasury is essentially a pot of funds that belongs to the Kusama community, and there is funded through slashing events, transaction fees, and other elements in the network. And the interesting part about it is that it's governed essentially like a decentralized autonomous organization. So any token holder can submit a proposal to be voted by the council. And although the treasury belongs to the Kusama community, the council is the guardian of the treasury in this respect, and it's the one deciding on-chain how the funds will be spent and allocated for different projects, right? At the moment, we have three types of spending mechanisms. One is tipping, The other ones are bounties, which is our newest one, everything on chain. And the third one, which is the one I want to focus on because it's the one that Voxel Bridge project in particular use, is a spending proposal, which is, let's call it the more traditional way in which the treasury can be distribute resources. So in this way, a spending proposal is basically a request for a portion of the funds from the treasury to a particular address on the network in order to develop a project. And there is a lot of different categories in which a spending proposal can be included. And so many different projects can be sponsored or funded by the treasury. This includes wallet integrations and platform ecosystem development, public infrastructure, and also experimentation between art and technology. So basically, spending proposals have four basic steps in which a submitter needs to go through in order to get the funds to develop a project. The first step is always the draft of a proposal. The second one is the submission on chain. The third one is the council vote. And the fourth one is the project execution. So in these two screenshots that I show on this first slide, you can see essentially, Jessica and the Vancouver Biennale have drafted a proposal, which is what Jessica showed you before. And they share this proposal that can be an IPFS document, an IPFS file, or a Google Doc, or a PDF, or any type of design that you want. They share it on one of our forums for discussion, like Polk Assembly on the left. And then we discuss it on our official channels, where you can find all of the discussions for proposals. They're public, and all of the counselors are there, and they discuss the proposals, they give feedback, and they ask questions to the submitter of the proposal. So in this sense, this particular phase is very important because it allows the submitter to incorporate the feedback of the council in order to minimize the risk of rejecting the proposal in the end. So if we can pass to the next slide, please. Once this step or this phase has been completed and the feedback is incorporated to the proposal, the next step is to submit the proposal on-chain. So in general, the submission of on-chain proposals in the Kusama network happens per milestone, which means that one submission is one milestone, and that allows the submitter to develop the milestone and report to the council, and the council to be able to review and evaluate the progress of the proposal, right? In this case, we can see that on the left, as we can see, that's the address from where Jessica and the Biennale submitted the proposal on chain, in this case, the first milestone. Mm-hmm. And it's very important to understand that this is a multi-sig wallet, so it is controlled both by Jessica and the Biennale. And once the submission happens on-chain, then automatically in our forums, or Assembly, for example, there is a new post that gets created in which you can get all of the information about the project. In this case, the number of the proposal is motion 225, which is the motion that the council will be voting in the end. And you can see who is the proposer with a non-chain identity that is verified by the network. You can see who is the beneficiary. You can see the total value and the motion hash. And you can find content and description on the project per se. So as I told you before, this particular motion covers Voxel Bridge first milestone. And the motion vote period is about 3 days, so 43,000 votes. The feedback to incorporate by the council is really important because once you submit on chain, there is a 5% deposit the submitted needs to lock. And this deposit works as an anti-spam mechanism for proposals. So if we can move to the next slide, please. So here you can see a screenshot of one of the explorers of the ecosystem, in which the Kusama Council, as guardian of the treasury, votes on chain each proposal and evaluates what's the added value for the project to the overall network. At the moment, the council is composed by 19 seats, so 12 affirmative votes out of 19 approve the motion in this case, so it's an absolute majority vote. And the total amount requested on the proposal is transferred to the beneficiary after the motion passes in the next pending periods. Each spending period, it's 7 days. And of course, everything, all the reports, all of the discussions happen on the Kusama official channels and in the ecosystem forums. And once the proposer is finished with the milestone, the proposer can submit as many proposals as milestones exist in the project. So what's coming next for Voxel Bridge in particular, if we can pass to the next slide. What's coming next, as we can see on this particular table, installment 1, which covers the vinyl production of the project, was submitted as motion 225, and it has passed already. So it's currently under production. We're expecting a report from Jessica and the Biennale on it soon. And then we have 2 more installments. Installment 2 is for the AR integration, which Andre talked about really well. It's supposed to be submitted in December 2020, although they have already started with testing. And then this is very interesting because originally there was no installment 3, but because the console gave feedback and asked Jessica to add 1 more installment for video documentation and production for those members of the community who cannot go next year to the Biennale to experiment the project, this installment will allow them to have an immersive experience into what the bridge is all about. And this is to be submitted on March 2020. So if you want to follow these discussions, you can always join our channels, and you can always check our forums. If we pass to the next slides, we can see the Discord, our Discord server link, or you can contact us on Kusama Network Twitter handle or my Twitter handle, and I can help out with where you can find the discussions.
Here, thank you so much. That was very rich. So I know that it is a lot of information, and Raul was absolutely amazing. So if you have a project that you think you would want to propose, definitely reach out. Raul walked me by the hand through this process, and I think that's one of the main things. Like, that's how you build community around a project like Kusama. That's how you make sure that people rally behind it. That's precisely what we want to do. There's a panel coming up soon. When is it? It's tomorrow, I believe.
It's on Saturday.
On Saturday.
Yeah.
It's about NFT proposals for the Kusama network. Some have, they all passed already?
So so most of them, so the strategy has been approved, and a part of the projects have already been approved, also funded by the council. And basically the panel will focus on the NFT strategy on Kusama going forward, and the design of a POC gallery for Kusama network, and asset creators, and how we envision all of these from a creator-first perspective to give a good experience to art and creators.
Even from the art project community, I've been asked about Kusama for people who are interested in exploring the Kusama blockchain or the Kusama network for potentially building on top of it. So I think for you guys who are interested in not necessarily migrating from Ethereum, but I would say, just testing, exploring other blockchains. I think it's worth looking at Kusama, definitely.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, well, excellent. Thank you, Raul. Do you have any final remarks?
No, thank you for inviting us. We're really excited, and it's a really, really good schedule that we have on until Thursday or Sunday. So we're really excited to participate on it.
I'm going to invite Andre to hop back in. Andre, so just to ask you if you have any final remarks regarding Spheroid Universe, what you'll be doing.
Well, I think I've described everything that I wanted, and again, we're very happy and thrilled about participating in this exciting project, and we are headed to make it as good as possible. So,
okay, well, thank you. For everyone in Vancouver or beyond, stay tuned. Next year, this is going to be out, and it's going to be pretty awesome. So thanks for your time, and Keep enjoying the expo. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.